Good morning. My name is Muhammad Hazmi. So can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Muhammad Hazman bin Mustafir.
And what should I call you?
You can just call me Hazmi.
Okay. Can you tell me where you're from?
I'm from Alustar, Kedah, and currently living in Selangor.
Okay. Now, in the first part, I would like to ask you some of your information about yourself. So let's talk about reading. How
Alright.
often do you read?
I can say often, yes, because when we carry our daily lives, we do a lot of readings. Reading it does not really stick onto a book, or we can do reading including in the internet, and also outside of the other source from other sources also. So I can say we do a lot of readings in lives.
What is your favorite kind of books do you read?
For books, maybe I love to read sports and science, because I love the sports and I need to know science, because I'm in a veterinary medicine field, so I need to know and that field requires me to understand more about science to treat animals. And sometimes I also read textbooks when the exam is around the corner.
Do you think it is important for the children to read?
Surely yes, because when children read at the early age, they encourage them to gain knowledge and information, to make them become more informative, and they also can improve their language skills, including their vocabulary, grammar skills, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, can you talk more about reading?
Um, I'm very encourage people to read a lot, because when reading, we get information which is very reliable sources. We get it from reliable sources, as the books recheck and check over and over again before it can be published. So it is very reliable sources that we can use to get information, because sometimes when you read through the internet, sometimes you didn't get the information which is true, or you don't know whether it's fake, because people can just share their own thoughts and their own opinion freely, but books, we cannot do that simply.
How do you think that you wanna encourage your children to read?
Maybe by having my own library at home, by giving them chance, following their age. Maybe at the very younger age, we should give them children books for them to read and to make them feel exciting about reading. When they grow older, we have to give them the more informative reading for them to improve their information, to improve their knowledge, because the general knowledge is quite important in our current life, because what we do in life, we have to know what is going on around us, including our worldwide issues that happens around us. And I think that's how I gonna encourage my children to read books and to do readings.
Okay, I think that's for part 1, and then I'm gonna proceed with the part 2.
Right.
So now I am going to give you a topic, and I'd like to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Here's a paper and pencil, and here's your topic. Please do not write anything on candidate task. You'll be given 1 minute. Alright, remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. It tells you that the time is up. Okay, can you start speaking now, please?
What's the question again?
Describe the hobby that you enjoy doing it.
Hobby in my own dictionary, in my own opinion, is the things or activities that you do during your free or spare time. It doesn't have to be a very formal or very specific way. It has to be just relaxing and activities that we can do easily. And in my opinion, hobby should be everyone's favorite, because they have to love their own hobby. For me, I love doing sports. I prefer doing tennis during my free time, because I find it very stress free when I do tennis, because I can release my stress that at the office that I have to face every day. And I usually play in the evening after I finish my classes. And normally I spend for about normally 1 hour or even under 1 hour, because I don't even have much time for that, because my class is quite packed. It start at 8 and even finish at 5 or even longer than that. So I have to get into it if I want to do my hobby. Sometimes I do it twice or thrice a week within that range of time, so that I can feel more pleasure for doing it. How did I start playing tennis? It was 7 years ago I started playing tennis. I started off by watching television, watching in the Astro that the tennis player plays tennis, and I found it very exciting to try this new sports for me. And I found it, the skill and the energy that they use is quite extreme, and I feel that it is more adventure if I try it for sometimes. Then after that I bought a racket and then start playing there, and then I never stopped playing from
So
that
did
day.
you enjoy your hobby?
Yes, I really enjoy doing my hobby.
Alright, that's it for part 2, and I think we can move to part 3. So we have been talking about a hobby that you enjoy doing it, and now I'd like to ask 1 or 2 general questions related to this. So let's talk about hobby for a moment. Why do people need hobby?
For me, people need hobby to release their stress at the office, as I mentioned earlier, because the pleasure that we get from conducting or even doing the activities that we like will give us the pleasure, will give us the happiness that we need in life. So it doesn't have to be sport, it has to be something that you like, or even shopping. You do activities that you like, walking in the park, and I think that's the why do we need hobby.
Do you think that hobbies can interfere with work, study, or personal life?
I don't think so, because sometimes hobby is a secondary things, because your personal life or your job is your first priority. When you do hobby when you feel free or you have spare time, so it won't be interfering with your first priority, which you need the most in order to carry out lives.
Can a hobby be dangerous?
I don't think so, because the hobby shouldn't be dangerous to someone, but there are dangerous hobbies in life. For example, the extreme sports that people do sometimes, which require skill and the the skill from the experienced conductors, which might harm ourselves, but we have to do it carefully so that no one get hurt.
Okay, so finally let's discuss about leisure time.
Right.
Do you think modern lifestyles give people enough time for leisure?
I don't think so, because nowadays we can see people are becoming more workaholics, which people likes to do work instead of doing things that they like, because they are striving for the business or for the money that they can get from what they are doing, because the cost of living now is quite high. They have to meet that demand in life, so they have changed their perspective of seeing hobby as an important thing, and change it to become a workaholic.
Do you think people today have more time to relax compared to the past?
I don't think so, because people nowadays seems to be more busy compared to the past, because the past we saw that people doing things that only for them, only to sustain their lives, and now it required more energy for them to sustain life, so they don't have time, not enough time to relax.
Okay, so last question for you. What do you think the importance of leisure time in life?
For me, why the leisure time is important, because we need to have time for us, for our own activities, because from there we can be a little bit stress free from our daily lives activities, and very stressful surrounding that we faced in the office or at work. So we have to spend time more on leisure time, so that we can enable a better life.
Okay, so I think thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test simulation.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.